So obviously you love to travel, obviously you have a lot of stuff. Do you normally struggle to pack it when you actually go anywhere? Well, this is how you bring all that stuff with you while you travel. Now this might look like a lot, but I'm going to show you how to fit all of that into a nice 65-liter backpacking backpack. Let's go. All my little necklaces and bracelets go in this nice little bag. So now for optimum space, I like to put the smaller items inside the shoes that are going to go on the bottom of the bag. I find this is just most effective for getting the most out of your backpack that you possibly can. Because you'd be surprised how many things can fit inside a pair of shoes. Now this might seem small, but make sure you do your shoes up completely tight. Here's my backpack, Old Faithful. It's a 65-liter bag, lots of room, and it's what I bring everywhere when I travel. This part is key while traveling with one single bag because I wear my absolute thickest items. So this is a thick wool sweater, these are thick baggy track pants, but then in my carry-on bag I always have something to switch into. So this is a shirt I'll be wearing underneath that so I can take it off, but then these are the shorts that I'm going to be switching into. And on any given trip I usually am bringing random shit back from where I'm coming from. So naturally this trip I have my Egyptian floor, I've got some sand from the white desert, the black desert, and some crystals. So I hope to God it doesn't break, because sand in everything in my bag would be the worst thing ever. Jumping right into it, the easiest way that I find it is to pack a bag is to get everything sorted out onto the bed. Hopefully you have a big one. Now I start with the bottom of my backpack on one side, and then I work my way around all the way to the end, and then the things I put in the middle are the things that I will put into the bag at some point, and then also the ones that go in the outside pockets. Now these ones are key but subtle. A big pro tip is use bounce sheets and just stuff them into the bag. Kind of helps with everything in there smelling fine, even if it is all clean. Now what's key is this type of bag, one of those vacuum sealed bags. This one is an L large one, and it works perfectly for my suits. It's a long story on how I brought them. It will be coming in another video. It's absolutely ridiculous, but oh well. So the big technique we're going to be using here is the rolling technique. It's how to get every item, as small as possible, shove it in an organized manner. So to be super cheesy, let's roll. Okay, the rolling technique, super easy, at least with men. So you just give a quick roll, and you want to make sure that it's as tight as possible. And you do this by rolling, but then keep pushing it out on the other side, so it's the tightest roll possible. And now you can see here kind of like the difference. This would just pack in like a weird way. It's hard to pack a circular bag with something that's square. So you're just going to repeat this pro. My suits, I put in this bag, and then the fun part. Obviously you want to squish out all of that air, and I mean all of it. I think the finished product should be something that looks like this, nice and vacuum sealed. Now this part's the hardest part in my opinion because it's the start of the bag, and as you can see, it's all very loosey-goosey. Zipping up the bottom. We zip up the bottom because we start with the bottom. And now this is when you're going to want to start just putting everything in. I normally lean it up against something. Now my shoes are always the things that go in the bottom. Obviously they're dirty. I thought about time-lapsing. I know I've already done a little bit, but realistically I don't think anyone's going to care about me time-lapsing, rolling, whatever, 20 different articles of clothing. So, I'm not gonna. So this part's key, especially for things like very small shirts or, boxers or anything like that, is you put two of them together. And then it gets into a double roll, nice and thick. It's a bold move, I know. Like, what, 8 videos in, I'm already showing you guys my underwear? check out my OnlyFans link right here. Just kidding. Or am I? Now, to save yourself from terrible backache, after you get the first few things in and establish a good base, throw it onto a chair. And then actually secure it with those straps. And then this way it's a lot easier to kind of work. The moment y'all been waiting for. This thing is now going in here. So I now have it shoved all the way against the back, and then I just use the pressure of putting things in to keep it in place. So another key point is that I find it's easier when you have kind of areas that you want to be at with the amount of clothes that you have. This line right here goes all the way around. It's about there where I'm aiming to be right now with all of, you know, my boxers, my shirts, and my kind of like more hiking gear. Naturally, it's now time for a bounce sheet. Nothing too special, just shove it on in there. So side story, while I was at the market a few days ago, I was just buying fruit normal, you know, this is a market I've been going to, made some friends, and the one guy was like, I need your help, and he wanted to create a Facebook page for his basket business that was on the side of the road. So I helped him out with that, I did that, and then he gave me a basket. So awesome, super nice basket. I would put, you know, fruit and stuff in it, but now I have to somehow figure out how to get this inside this, still with the rest of this. So we're about to do that now. So in the same essence as the suits, I'm gonna put this in like that, and then I'm gonna build around it, and then build within it, and then press it against and hope to God that it works. Now the middle of the bag is usually where I aim to put the biggest things, my thickest items. So, you know, it's about right there. And I've got this nice wool cardigan, and jeans are kind of my other big one. So I'm gonna make this work by putting the jeans and then that sweater inside this basket because they're the biggest, and it's gonna push it against the back. Okay, so that actually worked out pretty good. I have that shoved in there, so this is now holding this in place. If you can see that little green bag in there, that is that other thing of sand, which is kind of nice as it's now super sturdy in there. And then I secured it with putting this in the front. So now for things that are small, like I said, for tank tops, this is another thing that I do double up on. But the reason I save these for the very end, because after putting in something so big, you do get these tiny little, you know, pockets of space. And then in those spaces, something teeny tiny like tank tops do fit absolutely perfectly. So now I'm sure everyone has their quirks of what they always bring with them. Mine is, you know, a disc. You always find someone who goes, oh, I love Frisbee, let's go play. And I just find it's just a key item to always have. Now, normally I put it in right against the back, but because of the basket and all this stuff, I'm actually just gonna put it right on top here, and it actually fits quite well. Now, I actually have a little bit extra space on the top, which is nice, but I have now fit everything into the bag that I want to put into the bag. These are always the items, without fail, that I have in these front pockets. I don't know, I just have this belief that if I ever, you know, get off the airplane and all of a sudden it's like, oh my God, there's a hot spring right outside the airport, or some weird reason like that, boom, I have a bathing suit and I have a towel, or there's a hot tub in the airport. I don't know, an emergency, I need my bathing suit. It's just always right in the front. This is a rain jacket. These are rain pants, mostly used for hiking, but again, I always throw them in the front because maybe I crash land in the Amazon rainforest and it's raining. And then I'm not getting wet because I have easy access to my raincoat. Now the last key part is just doing it all up. Don't do them too tight right away. Now this top part is where I put the bathroom bag. It's old, it's been through a lot. Just goes in here. And then we're gonna do it up. Finish buckling up all the sides. Need to make sure that these zippers are on this side. I've done it where it's on the other one, and it is the biggest pain in my ass, but that's because you're about to see what I do on the other side. And then we give a nice good tighten all the way down. So now, I'm going to attempt take this, attach it to this, using this. Let's see how it works. I have to prep the cord, go through all these little things. Don't know what they're for, but this is what I use them for. I like to do this while the bag is on a chair, which makes my life a little bit easier. Oh, a sandy longboard. Honestly, these straps are more of a safety precaution because they don't really do much. They start off meaning well. I go around it, underneath, and then I'm going all the way back up here. I go through this loop, and then lastly, this loop. So now I have gone all the way around, looping everywhere where I need to loop. And now I just repeat the loops. It's twine, so I can knot it as tight as I want. And now, nice and secure, and I tie another knot. Good, like 5 knots in there. Voila! So watching this video, you might notice that I have a lot of other people's clothes that were gifted. Let's play a quick round. This is Shaq. This is Jake's. This is Mehouse. This is also Jake. This is also Jake. Jake Graham has supplied a lot of my clothing. This is Shaddy's. It's a bear on a bike. This is Ben Welch. This is also, can you guess it, Jake Graham's. This doesn't belong to anyone in particular except the liquor store staff room. It was really nice. I just wanted to take it. Now, if you heard your name in that list and you're watching this video, I would personally like to thank you, as one of your articles of clothing have made it into my traveling backpack. And this is almost all the clothes I have. And these are my absolute favorite pieces, so thank you for contributing to Marlo's closet. I appreciate it. So there you have it. That is how I pack my backpack for when I travel. Now, I know I probably have a few items that most people definitely don't have, that big ass longboard being one of them, but that is my travel longboard, and it has been to more countries than some people I know, and I love to bring it everywhere I go. Hopefully you can use this information next time you go to pack your bag so you can get a little bit more stuff in it, or have a little bit more room to bring some things back. Comment below your must travel with items that you think other people don't really bring along. Subscribe to keep following along on my journey, and check out my other video on how I use travel budgeting to travel more often and for longer.
Have I longboarded my way into your heart yet?